Aloha, this is Skye, your Soulful Progressive with FNN, Feminist News Network, that feminist news that's right for you. Welcome to Skye in the Pagoda Room, giving you that soulful news you need every time, yes indeed. And so what is it I want to talk to you about? What is going on? Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. But I came across something today because I was going to show my usual, but I saw Kurt Metzger on Jimmy Dore's show talking some shit that Joe Brown said. That old Joe Brown gave up the first wife for, the second wife. And talking wrong about Juneteenth, giving mishistory, wrong history, fake history. So we're going to listen to what Kurt said, and then we're going to set Kurt straight.
It's embarrassing. I watched Judge Joe Brown tell the story of this.
What is it?
And he's damn right. It's about when slavery was ended and black Union soldiers came to Texas, I guess, and told them, hey, and the slaves didn't believe them because they were black.
They didn't believe them what?
That they were free, because they saw black people in the Union, we're just steal those or whatever. Didn't believe them and continued to work for another year. Then found out, they were free. And then it was Juneteenth, and for some reason, that very embarrassing story is I think it's like some kind of insult or something. The story is, to pick that out is like a special insult, and like.
Well, I know
it's really a barbecue holiday.
I knew it was a distraction.
I know you heard that. That was some bullshit. Now, I know the real history, and I explain it in my most recent Juneteenth video that I have. If you're a subscriber, you can see it on my page. But I'm going to give it to you from what I heard Clint Smith said today. And when I saw that, I'm like, he can really explain it for you. So here's the real history to Juneteenth. Kurt.
Right. So the Emancipation Proclamation is often a widely misunderstood document. So it did not sort of wholesale free the enslaved people throughout the Union. It did not free enslaved people in the Union. In fact, there were several border states that were part of the Union that continued to keep their enslaved laborers, states like Kentucky, states like Delaware, states like Missouri. And what it did was it was a military edict that was attempting to free enslaved people in Confederate territory. But the only way that that edict would be enforced is if Union soldiers went and took that territory. And so part of what many enslavers realized, right, and realized correctly, was that Texas would be one of the last frontiers that Union soldiers would be able to come in and enforce the Emancipation Proclamation, if they ever made it there in the first place, because this was 2 years prior to the end of the Civil War. And so you had enslavers from Virginia and from North Carolina and from all of these states in the Upper South who brought their enslaved laborers and relocated to Texas in ways that increased the population of enslaved people in Texas by the tens of thousands. And so when Gordon Granger comes to Texas, he is making clear and letting people know that the Emancipation Proclamation had been enacted in ways that, because of the topography of Texas and because of how spread out and rural and far apart from different ecosystems of information many people were, a lot of enslaved people didn't know that the Emancipation Proclamation had happened. And some didn't even know that General Lee had surrendered at Appomattox 2 months prior. And so part of what this is doing is making clear to the 250,000 enslaved people in Texas that they had actually been granted freedom 2.5 years prior, and that the war that this was all fought over had ended 2 months before. Generally, you spoke to how it was more than 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, and it was an additional 2 months after General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox, effectively ending the Civil War. So it wasn't only 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation; it was an additional 2 months after the Civil War was effectively over.
And I know you heard that. Other states that didn't want to give them up brought them to Texas. See what I'm saying? You think if anybody knew they were free, they gonna say, no, I like it here, I want to stay. That's bullshit. BS. It's ugly when people spread false information. And I hope RBN sets Jimmy straight by a phone call or anything else, because to allow that video to even be shown so he can get votes from a mainly white GOP crowd that has gave him his million subscribers, shameful. And RBN, if you don't set them straight on it, I'm going to have to mention it, because you're the ones that's usually on there. They had Jamal Thomas get on there, but he didn't agree with Jimmy's no $15 an hour they doing. Jimmy was on the wrong side of history with that, and when Jamal set him straight, Jamal Thomas now, he didn't even get to be put on the show. See, I'm trying to tell y'all something. Now, pay attention. And happy Juneteenth. All right, I know you enjoyed getting the truth said and setting them straight on that. No good. Now, leave those comments below and let me know at FeministNewsN@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and that Facebook page. And remember, I'm that Soulful Progressive one on Twitter. Got that rant of the day on Blogger. And if you care to get me a cup of coffee, that's Venmo at SkyeSoulfulProgressive. Mahalo, and thanks in advance. So remember, during this era of hate, you're going to have to participate. Why is that? So we can stop the people lying on black history that ain't even knowing nothing about it, and get it from somebody like Joe Brown. Oh, cooning ass Judge Joe Brown. Please. He didn't get the right information. So remember, you gotta keep it right to be right. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining.